Hey everybody, welcome to Sophquest. Welcome back if you're a subscriber, and welcome in if you're new to the channel. So I wanted to let you know the reading you're about to hear is going to span the time of about 2 weeks from the energy of that full moon we just had on Friday, the 19th of November, that was in Taurus, and the new moon that we're going to be having on December 4th in Sagittarius. So we're moving from the last week of Scorpio season last week to fire into Sagittarius season for the next 4 weeks. Now, I know I didn't do a reading last week for you guys. I'm sorry about that interruption. I had to adjust to a change in my medical procedure, my schedule, the way I do it. And I needed time to fill up my own well, so I have something to give to you guys, right? So thank you for understanding that. I do appreciate it. Again, this is going to cover 2 weeks, so I hope you enjoy the reading. And now, there you go. On to the reading. Hi Taurus, welcome to Sophquest. I'm Spence. Alright guys, so today we're going to use the Crystal Visions Tarot by Jennifer Galasso and by Denise Lynn, the Sacred Travel Oracle cards. Alright, I'm going to start shuffling while I talk to you a little bit and let you know. This is for 2 weeks, like I said, and between this time, these lunations, the full moon, the shedding process as the light of the moon starts to wane and get smaller and smaller and head toward that new moon in Sagittarius, that's when we let go of the things that we know that we need to, that we learned all through Scorpio season, was holding us back, right? Old stuff, stuck karma. And Sagittarius gives you that jolt, that burst of enthusiasm to begin a new habit, something you want to make real. And I'm saying that because, you know, interestingly enough, we're moving. The north nodes are going from Gemini Sagittarius into the Taurus Scorpio axis for the next couple of years. So we really are establishing what we value and what we really want to prioritize and making those transformative changes in our lives, which I love so much. All right, your first card did fall out. Let me give you two more. Choosing your path. All is possible. Journey by moonlight, believe in magic. Gotta believe, right? Okay, Taurus. And voyage of the heart. Love flows through you and to you. All right, Taurus. I think that the last time I talked to you, Taurus, it was something about opening up or opening your heart, something like that. So isn't that interesting that that's sort of a similar message that's continuing for you? Now I know because that full moon was in your house, Taurus, it was probably pretty big for you. Big enlightenment, big understanding, right? Most especially about yourself and what it is that you're trying to change within you, right? Within yourself. Maybe to get a little more positive, right? A little more connected, a little more inspired, right, Taurus? That's kind of the way that the energies are moving you, I believe. So these eclipses, this eclipse season, I think is going to really help you. It's going to give you a jolt of energy, you know? I mean, like fireworks, a little bit of fireworks. And so I hope you really enjoy the holiday season. All right, those feel really good. Let's go ahead and shuffle that out. Cut the deck, okay? I'm going to lay them out. I am going to show you each and every card today, Taurus. We're going to read horizontally, vertically, big picture, all right? Very good. So leave me a comment and let me know how your full moon was on the 19th of December. We are now in Sagittarius season. That started on the 21st, right? And Sagittarius is fire. It's inspiration, right? It's ruled by Jupiter, about expansion, about learning and growth. It brings luck and enthusiasm. It's my favorite planet, many people's favorite planet for that reason, right? And it's also about our belief systems. It's kind of what we know of higher learning, or let's call it the accepted wisdom of the world. So it has a lot to do with cultures and religions and established ways of doing things, right? But in Scorpio season, you know, we were really going deep and looking at some of the dogmatic ways that we look at life and maybe opening our minds a little bit to thinking of how are we going to change the way we do things, because we've had to. We've had to change the way we do things. And, you know, we now have new industries, new ways of doing things, new ways of going to school, of working, of shopping, right? Just everything is changing. So that makes sense, doesn't it? Oops, let me pull you the 3 on the bottom of the deck. Okay. Taurus, let's see. Let me take this in for a second. Taurus, if you just settled in with me, why don't you give some time to yourself to relax. Take 3 deep cleansing breaths, right? Really deep into your diaphragm. Bring oxygen into the brain. You can lower your stress by bringing down your cortisol. Just by simply doing that, right? A few times a day really feels good and helps you out. All right. You are asking yourself what it is that you need to know or accept either about yourself or about your life. It's like you've been going around and around about something, asking yourself, well, what do I really want here? What do I believe? What do I believe that I want? You know, trying to like maybe convince yourself to do something or try something that you really want. That's how I'm seeing this under the deck internally. But first, let's go to your oracles. Choosing your path, all is possible. Journey by moonlight. Believe. Believe. Right, Taurus? You gotta believe. And voyage of the heart. Love flows through you and to you. When we ask, you know, do you believe in love? Okay, everybody's going to say yes, pretty much. But what do you believe about love? What do you believe it takes? What do you believe it is? How do you believe it feels? And, you know, what kind of love are we talking about here? Agape, spiritual love, unconditional, totally accepting in every way, the light and the shadow. In that kind of love? Are we talking about romantic love? What is it about love? That's the question for you right now, Taurus. For the next couple of weeks, it's like, what do you believe? Do you believe that love can be more than you thought it could be? Right? Maybe. On the bottom of the deck, internally, I'm looking at the 8 of Swords. So I think maybe you've been thinking really deeply for quite a long time. And I think at this point, it's limiting you. It's like whatever you've been believing, there's this voice also inside your head, this Page of Wands voice. It's your spirit fire. It's saying, hey, hold on a minute. You've been thinking this way for a really long time. How's that working for you? Don't you hate that? When, like, this part of yourself inside of you, like, you know, you got the angel and the devil on your shoulder, like they always say, you know. But really, it's really our light and our shadow going to battle with each other, right? The one says, you can't do that. And the other one says, yes, you can. It's the negative and the positive voice inside of our head that either allows us to grow and change in life or doesn't. And so much of that is conditioned, right? The way you're raised and, you know, how you're taught. But when you have a free and liberated mind, and more importantly, a free and liberated spirit, you really do understand that it's your responsibility to have the life you want, right? It's not circumstance that's going to just, you know, pop up, complete and total luck. I mean, sometimes life feels that way. It feels like, oh, that was a lucky break, right? But moreover, with this Ace of Swords, I think you're telling yourself kind of a very deep spiritual truth here. Page of Wands, Ace of Swords, a spiritual truth. And that's perfect because Sagittarius season is very much about spirit fire and what we believe. What we believe, what we're taught in society, because Sagittarius rules that, you know, it's higher education, it's what, you know, it's our whole belief systems, our cultures, how we are sort of conditioned to believe. And so after sort of shedding certain things about the way we think and how, you know, negative patterns that haven't been working for us when we were going through Scorpio season, dealing with our feelings and going, well, that doesn't feel good, right? So what I've learned about myself is I don't want to do that, right? So let's try something over here. Let's do this because this might get me a different result. And I think that's what you're telling yourself. With that Eight of Swords, it's like I can't go round and round in my head anymore and tell myself something that is a self-limiting belief. It's not working for me. So instead, my spirit fire is trying to encourage me and inspire me to realize, Ace of Swords, a new truth. A truth that I've been coming to culmination, realizing. A new path, that all is possible. And that I can change it. Journey by Moonlight, going into the feelings and saying, what do I really believe is possible about love? These two cards, right? So loving yourself starts that journey. So what does that mean? Because we always say that, right? Self-love. And a lot of people are raised to think of others, that love is sacrificing for others. And of course that's true. But the sacrifice isn't loving if it's just because of rote behavior, obligation, feeling of responsibility. That's not necessarily loving. It is certainly sacrificing. Loving and giving to others that way. It's really so much more about loving yourself enough to know that your love is so valuable that when you give it to someone else, you are pouring out so much of your own life energy. You're giving of the resources of your time and your love and your energy. That is valuable. So it doesn't breed resentment and like those kinds of feelings when you're giving and loving. It breeds kindness and reverence and gratitude and all the good things. And then it flows back to you in the same way. Because that's what love does. Love flows back and forth, doesn't it? So that, it's like asking yourself the deeper questions like, what does love feel like? And do I feel it? Do I feel surrounded by love? Do I feel encompassed by love? And am I putting it out there as well? Let's go across the top, the Chariot. Moving forward, going back and forth over the feelings. The Chariot card is a Cancer card, right? And Cancer is about our feelings and what we do with them. So feelings to emotions. How do we emote the feelings? So it's the light and the shadow, the two horses, the light and the dark horse. So we're in the driver's seat. Which way do we feel and what do we do with that feeling? How do we emote out of it? Page of Pentacles, well, you're trying something new and you're making it real. Pentacles is earth and it is going to change something for you, Taurus, Wheel of Fortune. You can see that, right? And right now in this season, I see that. I see that it's in this season. All right, so Four of Cups. You weren't sure that you could feel differently, change something. Four of Cups, Moon. It's like the universe is giving you an opportunity to allow for something different for you. And with the Moon, it makes you nervous. The Moon is the center of your reading today. With the Seven of Wands, it kind of makes you feel a little fired up. Like you almost like defensive. Like, I don't know if I can do this. I've always done this way. I've always been this way. I've always thought this way. This is my way, right? So it's kind of that. It's like defending your feelings. But something's saying, yeah, well, that wasn't working for me in the past. It made me apathetic. So I'm either apathetic or defensive. I don't want to be either. I don't want to constantly battle which way I'm going with my feelings. So you're asking yourself how. Pentacles is earth. It's a matter of what we do in reality, right? 3D world, what we do in action. So how? How do I change and get a different result? That's what I'm looking at here. Well, first you make that judgment call, which means you're honest with yourself. All things are possible, and you get really honest with yourself inside. That's what you've been trying to do, because Eight of Swords, it's like you can't really accept new information when you're just going round and round telling yourself the same script. So Page of Wands, an injection of enthusiasm. Hey, I want a different result. Okay. Ace of Swords. Aha. There's the idea. That's the full moon on steroids that we just had. Taurus. Oh, changing something and making it real. Taurus. And there's the Ace of Swords, that aha, truth. I get it now. That's what enables this, the Judgment. Another chance, a new chance, a real change. Hierophant, about what you believe, what you are committed to doing, because you can't stay in the Three of Swords anymore. Heartbreak, hurt, disappointment, feelings that make you nervous, uncomfortable, that you don't understand why that keeps happening, and you're standing up for changing the way you feel. Chariot. And how you move forward in life and change your life and get different outcomes in your life by actually figuring out why you feel what you feel. Moon. The moon is our subconscious. It is our feelings. It's what's deep inside that drives us. It's what drives you. And you don't even realize necessarily that it's been taking you down a path of either apathy, Four of Cups, where it's like, meh, I don't know. Not that enthused. Not really. Not feeling it. Right? All of that. Or, oh, well, no, let me make my point here. This is how I've felt. This is how I've always felt. This is what I do. This is what I've always done. Because Taurus, I mean, one of the hallmarks of your sign, we all have different things, light, shadow, all of it, right? One of the hallmarks of your sign, because you're an earth sign and you're the bull, right? You get things done, is you can be really stubborn because you know how to move forward. But what if your forward isn't working? What if the pivot is necessary now? Wheel of Fortune. So you got to lift up the head and change the horns and move them in a new direction. This is your card, the Hierophant, right? Judgment. Another chance, Taurus. Another chance. A new chance. A chance to change how you process through your feelings, the cause and effect of how you deal with your feelings, the way you transmute your feelings, and your thoughts about them, right? We judge ourselves, don't we, right? It's judgment. We judge ourselves. But this is a voyage of the heart. So it's like, get out of your head, be nice to yourself, stop judging yourself, and tell yourself it's okay to believe in the very best possible outcome. To have faith. And your feelings are trying to tell you that all is possible, that you can go down the new path that you're wanting to, that you can lift up your horns and change and pivot and make something new happen, because you can believe that it's possible. And I think that makes all the difference in the world, doesn't it? Alexa, off! Alexa just talked to you, Taurus. So there you go. All right. I want to wish you kindness, reverence, and gratitude. I honestly think the big picture here with the moon in the center of your reading today, Taurus, is that, you know, that full moon that you just had in your sign, it mattered. And even if you've been so busy that you haven't had time to really think about your subconscious feelings, the things that came up in Scorpio season in the deep water, maybe now as the moon starts to wane, and it sheds its light and goes to the darkest part in the sky, coming upon the new moon right before December 4th. So the very first few days of December, you will be able to make a change. You will. And maybe your thoughts won't race so much anymore. You know, poking at you and saying, hey, Taurus, there's a new way for you here. Do you understand that it's going to be good for you? Do you understand that it's a chance to change maybe something you're believing about what your heart needs? What your heart needs. All right, Taurus, I wish you kindness, reverence, and gratitude, and I'll talk to you in 2 weeks. See you then.